The Demeter Code by Russell Brooks. Music composed by Jeremy Vaco. For previous episodes, visit russellparkway.com. Chapter 3, Part 2. Mustache Man now stood so close to Fox that he smelled the onion on his breath. "T'es sûr?" asked the man. Again, Fox ignored him. The man decided to push his luck and reached for Fox's beer bottle. The former JTF-2 operative snatched his wrist, jamming his thumb deep in the space between the radius and the ulna, and stood looking at Mustache Man and watching the pain spilling from his eyes as he grunted. A beer bottle, if mishandled, was a weapon. Consequently, this was enough of an indication that this asshole had just initiated a confrontation. The man twisted his body with his hand as he bent over the counter. Fox then grabbed his beer bottle with the other hand and clocked it over the back of his head and released him. The man slid off the counter to the floor like a badly placed tablecloth. Fox quickly drew his G19 while swinging around to face the other two billiard players, just as one of them was about to reach under the table. Their eyes met for a split second before Fox squeezed the trigger, striking him in the shoulder. He went down, knocking over a table. Fox then aimed the G19 at the other, who, on seeing he was bested, had the smarts to back away from the table with his hands held high. Fox stepped away from the counter as he kept his eyes on the pool player. "Reculez! Les mains derrière la tête!" The man did as he was told and placed his hands behind his head, just as Fox approached him. When his legs were no longer hidden by the billiard table, Fox shot him in the left kneecap. The man hit the floor screaming while clutching his knee, unleashing a series of French curse words. Sure, he was unarmed, but if he had backup, neutralizing him was the smartest option. Fox checked his flanks as he rushed over to the two men he had shot. The first one was attempting to pull himself across the floor with his good arm. Fox grabbed the chair on his way over and slammed it down, impaling the back of his good hand with one of the chair's legs. There was a gnarled wail that went on even after Fox threw the chair to the side. Blood geysered out of his hand as he rolled over onto his back, clutching it, and gritting his teeth while tears poured from his eyes. "Go present yourself in person to Algafari so that he can see how royally he's fucked up," yelled Fox with a Welsh accent. "And tell him I'm coming for him!" A loud ringing came from behind the counter. Fox didn't look in that direction, but checked his flanks instead, quickly. A ringing phone was a perfect distraction. Most people in Fox's shoes would have turned to look for it, inadvertently opened themselves up for a surprise attack. Instead, he stepped to the side where it would be impossible for anyone to get a clear shot of him through the bar's front window. He did so while checking the doorway behind the bar. After the third ring, the phone went silent. Fox knew that someone would be passing through the doorway behind the bar, most likely the owner with a shotgun. He glimpsed at where he was sitting before. The jerk with the mustache was still on the floor. He then looked back quickly to the doorway. The adrenaline coursed through his torso and through both arms as he steadied the Glock. The bartender would have to jump out to get a clear shot. And that's when Fox would nail him. There were still wails from the other two men he'd subdued, sounds that he mentally blocked out as his attention was split between the door behind the counter and whomever may attempt to come running through the front door with guns blazing. An object slowly emerged from the doorway as Fox gradually squeezed the trigger. It was a stained white wiping rag hanging on the end of what Fox assumed to be a broom handle. It was an obvious substitute for a white flag. Fox didn't lose focus as he kept aiming the Glock. "Sortez! Lentement!" A short, plump, bald man emerged slowly, He held the broom with the rag in one hand. In the other, he held a phone, both objects held high. He placed the phone on the counter and dropped the broom on the floor. "C'est pour toi," he said. Seriously? Fox thought as he walked back over to the bar, checking his flanks before he grabbed the phone. "What?" "Senor Conlon, this is Monzer Argulfari. How are you?" The man had a very slight Arabic accent. He could barely hear him above the cries next to the pool table. "Better than the goons you sent to kill me," Fox answered, still with the Welsh accent. "Yes, about that I must apologize. I had to make sure that you're the man I want to work with. The fact that you're speaking to me now confirms." "You have... hold on." Fox turned to the crying men and yelled, "Shut up, for fuck's sake!" The cry stopped immediately. Fox then again held the phone to his ear. "As I was about to say, you have 10 seconds to convince me why I should still work with you." "The going rate for your services is £1.5 million, but I'll gladly double it." "What kind of job are we talking about?" "Ask Francois the bartender for the envelope he received in the mail earlier today. For your inconvenience, there's €5,000 in it. The other 50,000 is waiting for you in a safe at the De l'Europe Amsterdam Hotel, where you registered under the alias Samuel Ashdown. The rest of your money will be wired to you once the job is done. I suggest you get yourself cleaned up, buy yourself some new clothes, relax, and I'll see you at 5 p.m. tomorrow evening. Oh, by the way, don't worry about the police. At this moment, they're conveniently breaking up a dog-fighting tournament." Fox heard a click on the other end. He put the phone on the counter, turned to the barkeep, and stuck out his hand. "L'enveloppe! Tout de suite!" The man reached beside his cash register and handed it to him, then backed away. Fox took the envelope while keeping his Glock on him. "Appelle la serveuse, et viens devant, tous vous deux." The owner called the waitress, who came from the back trembling with her hands up. She then joined them in front of the counter. Fox gestured to them with the gun towards the wall. "Au mur! Assis sur les mains!" They both quickly scurried over to the wall, where they both sat down on their hands, with their backs to it. Fox heard groaning close to his feet and saw the mustache man getting up onto his knees. Fox kicked him in the head, sending him back to dreamland. Minding his surroundings, he tore open the envelope and glanced inside, where he saw a thick wad of cash. He didn't have time to count it, but was confident that the 5 grand was there. He stuffed the envelope inside his jacket, then made his way over to the entrance and left. This concludes Chapter 3 of the Demeter Code. If you want to know what happens next with Ridley Fox and Dr. Nita Paris, you'll have to purchase your copy on July 4th, 2014. Thanks for listening,